Hey guys, coming at you with 8-6 on the stomach. So let's see what your stomach does. Excuse me, your stomach is the main site of chemical digestion where proteins get to be broken down into individual amino acids. Although digestion does begin in your mouth, a lot of it, the main portion of it, starts in the stomach with the proteins. In your stomach, food gets converted into something called chyme. Chyme is a creamy, pasty, food enzyme saliva combo that is what will eventually be sent on to the duodenum for you to continue further breaking it down. Your stomach is found in the upper left-hand quadrant of your abdomen, and it is hidden by the liver, which is this little guy right there, and portions of the diaphragm that extend over it like that. So there he is, that guy right there. All right, inside of your stomach, we see that an empty stomach can hold 50 milliliters, which is, I don't know if you've ever played with a beaker, it's not a whole lot of liquid, but a full stomach can hold up to 4 liters, so, two 2-liter soda bottles. That's a lot of material inside of your stomach. When we look inside, like in this little camera view right here, we see these little wrinkles, kind of looks like the surface of your brain. Those are called rugae. Rugae are little wrinkles inside your stomach that allow for expansion. The top portion of your stomach is called the cardiac region. That's where food pops into your stomach. We have the fundus, which is this little upper, like a curve of your stomach, usually where air collects from what will eventually become a burp. And then we have the body, which is the main portion of the stomach, and the pyloric region, which is at the very end. So let's take a look at them and find those 4 things. So here are the rugae. These are the little wrinkles in here. So the first portion is the pyloric region, which is kind of like right around in here. The fundus is this upper portion like that. Then we've got the body, which is, if we just follow the dotted lines, is this part right here. And then we have the pyloric region, which is right here. Okay, so those are the 4 main portions of your stomach. Now if we continue, there's more stuff to it. Hang on. One of my daughter's friends came over and got distracted, so I'm going to start from the top because I don't remember where it was. Okay, some other parts of the stomach. We have the pyloric antrum. An antrum is kind of like a doorway, an entrance to a place. So the antrum is just the entrance to the pyloric region. We have the pyloric canal, which is a little smaller portion near the pylorus, which kind of funnels materials into the small region. Then we have the pylorus, which is part of the stomach, but is also continuous with the duodenum. We have the pyloric sphincter, which controls how fast your stomach empties. It's not like your stomach opens and the whole 4 liters goes blip into your small intestine. Your small intestine doesn't really expand. So your stomach just has to give little bits, little bits, little bits, because you don't want your intestine to explode. The outer portion of your stomach that kind of goes around like this, well, that's a bad picture, it has the greater curvature. That's the convex, poking out lateral surface. And then we have the lesser curvature, which is inside like that, and it's concave, and it's the medial surface. So if I go back to this picture here, let's see if we can find those items. So the pyloric antrum, so that's this area right here, that funnels into the pylorus region, which is here. We have the pyloric sphincter, which is here, and dumps the material directly into the duodenum. Here's your greater curvature on the outside, lesser curvature on the inside. All right. Then we have something called your omentum. Now you're saying, oh, you spelled it wrong. No, I didn't. Omentum, singular, omenta, plural. Bet you feel like you're taking Latin class when you are taking all this. So the omenta, or the omentums, is what tethers the stomach to the other digestive organs and to the body wall. It's kind of like a mesentery in a way. We have the lesser omentum, which goes from the liver to the lesser curvature, so it holds your stomach to your liver. Then we have the greater omentum, which covers the coils of the small intestine. That was the little flap that we lifted off the kitty intestines to look down inside. The job of the omentum is to store fat and contains lymph nodes. And so larger individuals have very large omentums because of that stuff right there. The omenta, how much fat goes in and such, is controlled by the autonomic nervous system and also the pacing of which the food goes through your stomach. Here, ow, sorry, inhaled a bug. Here's a picture showing the greater omentum, and as you can see, it's just like a curtain that falls down from your stomach and covers the whole entire small intestine region. And then we have the lesser omentum, or the hepatogastric ligament, which is right in here. So it connects the liver to the stomach. Okay, moving on. Microscopic anatomy. So if I were to take a chunk of your stomach and put it underneath a slide, what would I see? We got the four main layers. Remember, we've got the top layer, which is the mucosa. And then we have the submucosa. And then we have the muscularis externa. And then we have the serosa. So we've got the same exact four layers as what we were looking at in previous notes. The fact that you have the four layers, the muscle layers, this layer, there's three muscle layers in there. And the ability of your muscles to go this way, and this way allow really good maneuverability of the muscles inside your stomach. So that allows your stomach to churn, mix, and basically pummel the snot out of the food. The lining of your small intestine, your stomach, the lining of your stomach is made pretty much totally of goblet cells that produce an alkaline mucus. And you're thinking, I thought your stomach was acidic. Well, yeah, because you have these little dips, goes like this. So what we see is, when we look at a cross section, is what looks like a smooth stomach. But in reality, there's little holes in there. And these holes are pits, called gastric pits. And they have little extra things inside of here that are producing gastric juices. And part of what they produce is acidic, and it goes to your stomach to help you digest your food. But we have goblet cells that counteract it, and they produce an alkaline mucus, so that way you don't eat a hole through your stomach. Oh, this isn't good. Hold on one second. For some reason, the ones that I make at school, once they get transferred to my one at home, it's like fudge. It's like the font doesn't cooperate. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So, in the stomach, the types of cells, there's four main types of cells. There were three that you had to color on your notes, or on the classwork. So, one of them is called the mucous neck cells. They're found in the neck region of the gland, and what they mean by that is that in the pit, and it goes like that. The neck region is like this area right here. So we have these mucus cells, and they produce acidic mucus. And so they're found, basically in the pits. We have the parietal cells, which are found in the middle region of the glands between the chief cells. So they're also in here as well. And they secrete hydrochloric acid and intrinsic factors. And they appear kind of round on your packet. They kind of look like fried eggs, like that. The reason why we have to produce hydrochloric acid is because we have this enzyme called pepsin. Oh, I didn't mean to cross it out. I meant to underline it. Pepsin is needed to break down proteins, but the only way to get it started is if it's in an acidic environment. So the acid basically kickstart the pepsin so it can start doing its thing. The acidity of your stomach also kills bacteria, so you don't get sick off of everything you eat. Also helps to break down cell walls of plant material. So vegetarians have lots of acidity to break down the cell walls from their salads. We have chief cells. They produce pepsinogen, which is basically pepsin before hydrochloric acid. And this occurs in the basal region of the gland, so down at the very bottom of the pit. Also secretes lipases. Lipase breaks down fats. So here's kind of a picture showing the different cell types. So here's the stomach lining. Here's a pit. And so the pit digs deep down in here. And we can see the different types of cells. So we've got the mucus and bicarbonate solutions that kind of protect things, or it shows what they're secreted. We have the parietal cells right here, which produce gastric acid, or HCl, and intrinsic factors. We have these funky ones, which we'll get to in a second, enterochromaffin-like cells. It's called something different on the next slide. They produce histamine. We have our chief cells, kind of simple columnar. They produce pepsin and pepsinogen and gastric lipase. And then D cells and G cells, don't worry about those. So I feel like the arrow's covering the one, the mucus one. Sorry about that. So we got the mucus cells right there. Here's another picture showing it. And as you can tell from the histology of it, it's kind of hard to tell what's what. So I'm never going to give you a picture like this and go, what kind of cell is that? You know, I'll give you something simple that comes straight out of your packet or straight out of the book. And there's another one I can't see. So then the fourth type of cell is called an enteroendocrine cell, and their job is to release hormones into the lamina propria. So if we go back, it's these guys right here. Okay? So they release hormones such as gastrin, histamine, endorphins, which is why when you eat a big meal, you feel happy because of the endorphins secreted by your stomach. Serotonin makes you also happy. Cholecystokinin, I don't remember what that does, and somatostatin. Alright, I think, last one, protection. You have the mucus layer that covers up all your cells so that way you don't digest yourself. My husband is home with my kids. And all this good stuff here. Thick coating of bicarbonate mucus, tight junctions between epithelial cells. Glandular cells are impervious to HCl. Damaged cells are replaced. So we can see that we have lots of things that prevent us from digesting our own insides. Okay, that's about it. So we'll talk more about this tomorrow. Bye.